Welcome to Sidewalk Talk. I'm Maria Batt, Director of Client Relations and Design for Shovel the Sidewalk. We're a marketing firm in Buffalo, New York, specializing in building brands for small businesses and then pushing their message out into the community and connecting them through authentic storytelling. And today we have Jill Nola from the BAC. She was my trainer for a little bit. She's probably trained a huge percentage of women in Western New York. Jill, welcome, and thanks so much for taking time out of your very busy day.
You're welcome, Maria. Thanks for having me.
So first, how are you guys? Are you healthy? Are your hands clean at your house?
Yes, we're good. We're all, as of now, we are healthy. We're just, doing all the social distancing, keeping our hands washed, going out only as needed, and doing everything that we can to do our part and beating this thing.
This is a huge change for you, because how many hours a day do you spend at the gym?
It depends on the day. Anywhere from 4 or 5 to 7 or 8, depending on the day. But it is a huge change for me. I am so used to being with multiple people for lots of hours during the day. And my husband is still working. My one daughter's a nurse, so she's out. So it's like, went from 40 or 50 people interaction to my 5 cats, my husband every so often. Trying to teach my son 11th grade schoolwork. So it's a huge life change.
Oh, 11th grade is hard.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah. I know my daughter, she's a freshman, and if she has math, she's on her own. There's nothing.
Oh yeah, he's pretty much on his own. So I'm not really of any help. But again, the teachers, gosh, they gotta love them.
You guys are being pretty creative about staying connected to your members. How important is that you're not just, the doors aren't just shuttered, that you're still remaining some type of connection with them?
Yeah, we feel like it is right now more than ever. It is so important for us to stay connected for them. It's benefiting us in an amazing way. But when we started it was all for them. We wanted to make sure that they felt like we didn't forget about them, like we are still here for them. We can offer them what we would offer them on any given day, just in a little different format. We have the technology. I don't know what we would be doing. I was just thinking this morning, what would we do without this technology? But we have the technology for me to be able to, I just taught a yoga class with on our Facebook Live page, BAC page, and I got lots of feedback and lots of comments. So I had a good number of ladies this morning just doing it with me in their homes. So I think just making that connection and them feeling like, okay, normally I do yoga on Tuesdays. So today is Tuesday and I'm doing yoga. And there is some sort of routine in that you cannot put a value on. It's amazing that we can do it.
Routine can really keep you sane. And I think, our days get nuts now because we wake up, like right now I have a nice sweater on, but I have pajama pants on underneath this. So you could go through your day and go, crap, I forgot to brush my teeth, or I was trying to work from the table and teach my kids about owl pellets at the same time. But how can sticking to some kind of routine or schedule and making sure that you have exercise in it benefit us all in this new weird world we're in?
Yeah, I think it gives you that sense of control. I think the more that you can control, I say this in my day, before all of this happened, I always would tell my clients and tell myself is control what you can control, so that the stuff that we have no control of, we can let that go because we know we have something in our grasp. So I think having the routine and saying, okay, I am going to do yoga. If I can't do it live I can't do it at 9:30 with Jill live, that video is going to be waiting for me. And today when I'm done doing, maybe it is going to work. Even though I am not going to work, I have to remember a lot of my ladies still are going to work. They know that when they get home, they're going to click on their Facebook and they're going to see that video waiting for them, and they're going to be able to get their yoga in, or they can go back and do Katie's class from yesterday, or they can go back and do Annie's Pilates class from Sunday. So I think that having that control and just feeling like, okay, I can still control my health. I can still control making sure that I'm getting my movement in. And it's that whole cycle of I exercise today, so I'm going to make some better nutrition choices. I exercise today, so I know that I'm going to get a little bit better quality sleep than I would if I wasn't exercising. Because I know for a couple people, I know I've gotten some text messages, just questions on how to get better sleep, because you feel like you're not doing anything during the day, especially if you're home. And so it's like, I'm not even really tired because I didn't do my usual day. So just having that control, getting that exercise, taking your mind out of all of the things going on and giving yourself just that hour of being active, moving your body, controlling something, getting a good sweat on, depending on the type of class, I think helps to maintain some sort of feeling like, okay, I have control. I've got this.
And so my husband has some friends that are kind of like meatheads and like, well, gym's closed. Like, this is the worst thing in the world. It sucks. It's not the worst thing in the world though, right? There's a lot that you can do at home with very little equipment.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we've been trying to be very mindful of that when we're doing our videos, is that we know most people don't have an in-home gym or even a set of dumbbells at home. So, we are offering, some classes with some weights or some things, but, like Annie's Pilates class, we used cans. I did Annie's class. I took 2 cans out of my cupboard that were both a pound, and I did her class. Katie's class yesterday had some weights in it, but she also offered options without, and just getting that idea of contracting muscles and doing things without the traditional equipment. It's another kind of a challenge. Like, okay, this is how I usually do it, but I can do it without anything. But there's so much you can do with your own body weight, and and then on a nicer day when maybe you can get outside, even in your driveway, in your yard, and do some stuff. You don't need to have a whole gym full of stuff to get in a great workout. And right now, think about your workout as just as much mental as it is physical. You got to get out of this. You got to turn off the TV. You got to get off the social media. You got to just get in your own mind and say, okay, I got to stay healthy, and exercise is the best way to do that.
What's like 1 or 2 things that people can do? So aside from getting out and walking, if they want to work on some strength training, they have a couple minutes in between an video meeting that they have. What's something quick that they can do?
So they could do, so take out the cardio side of, jumping jacks and running in place, that kind of thing. You can get down on the floor and do some planks. I mean, you do a plank, you're engaging your core, you're engaging your lower body, your upper body. You can do an elbow plank, a straight arm plank, a side plank, modified on the knees, some push-ups for some upper body work, all different kinds of push-ups too. You take your hands wide, you take your hands narrow. You can do some squats, some lunges. I mean, there's, full body right there, lower body, upper body, and core. And you could do that in the tiniest space in your kitchen or your living room if you don't have, and again, I know a lot of people don't have a lot of space to do it, but you don't need pretty much head to toe. That's the length of space you need. However much room your body takes up vertically is what you need on the floor. So it doesn't have to be a lot of time either. Making just a little bit of time and knowing that is your time to exercise and engage some muscles and maybe get a little sweat on, you'll feel great.
Another issue I think everybody's having, it is very, very easy to pass through the kitchen and grab a handful of Doritos or their kids, Sour Patch Kids. It's my problem. It's probably more than ever, meal planning is crucial right now. You're not supposed to be to the grocery store as many times. What can people do who've never meal planned before kind of start this, and how important is it right now?
I think it's very important, for a lot of reasons. One being, right, when you do go to the grocery store, you want to go with a plan, a list, and okay, what can I buy? What do I have room for? What can I make? Maybe you're going to go and buy the big pack of chicken and you're going to cook all that chicken, and then you've got it ready for lunches, for dinners. You can do so much with it. Kind of think about what's the protein you like to have. Get maybe a bigger pack than you normally would. Bring that home, spend an afternoon cooking it all up, put some of it in the freezer, and that way that's ready to go. I think also that nutrition side is also so important in just overall health and keeping your immune system working well, so that if you do come into contact with this, you are ready. You're a warrior. You're ready to go. Your body is like, okay, I've been nourished, I've been fed, I've been hydrated, and I'm ready. I'm ready for battle. And it will also, again, kind of continue the cycle. It's like if you start your day with a healthy breakfast, you're more likely to continue your whole entire day with healthy choices. So if you start with something good, and that can be anything, maybe stock up on some eggs for breakfast, maybe stock up on some oatmeal, things that you can make in maybe a little bit bigger quantity so that you have it and it's ready. Because that's usually the issue is, oh, I don't feel like making that. I'd rather have a Pop-Tart because we have Pop-Tarts in the house because my kids are home now all the time for breakfast. So that's easier. But if you've taken the time to maybe make some, the egg cups, first of all, it'll give you something to do because we were looking for some healthy things to do. So it'll give you something to do. You now have time to do, probably have time to do meal prep. And it ensures that you have those good choices. And yeah, last week, that's what I heard a lot of is the junk food was taking over. And that's actually a sort of a natural reaction to the stress is your body craves the carbs, it craves the junk. Now that we've gotten through that first week and we're kind of like, okay, this is what it's going to be for a little while. Now it's like, all right, we got to get back on track here. And, you start thinking about what do I like to eat so that when you do make that trip to the grocery store, not that you're going crazy and you're buying everything in sight, you're just maybe buying the big pack, one of the big packs of the chicken or one of the big packs of the ground turkey, maybe some vegetables. I was at Wegmans the other day and this is going to sound funny, I was horrified that the produce section was perfect because people are buying vegetables. People, this is what you need right now. So, look up some recipes, pull out your slow cooker. This is the time to do those bigger pots of things, some things, especially if you're home and you're not usually home. Take the time to slow cook something or to put on a big pot of soup and fill your body with nutrients and vegetables and fresh fruit. And, and that way you won't be looking for that other stuff that isn't so good for you.
Because we have nothing but time right now, right? So that can't be an excuse for most people that they don't have time to cook.
Right.
What about quick snacks? My biggest issue is I'm teaching my kids, I'm working from my kitchen table, and I don't know why, but my hand has to be doing something else. We shouldn't be having like chips and, nasty stuff. What are some good quick snacks that people can just grab and crunch on?
Some almonds, some nuts, some cashews, some crunchy vegetables with some hummus or some like a plain Greek yogurt dip with some, even like the Hidden Valley Ranch dry packet of ranch dressing. You put that in with a little Greek yogurt and it makes an amazing little dip for your vegetables. Another thing, what we like to do in our house, just to keep those portions, especially with the nuts and the trail mix types of things. And again, it's something else to do. And my son will do this for me is we'll buy all the stuff. We'll buy the almonds, we'll buy the cashews. If we're going to put together a trail mix, whatever we're going to put in there. And he will portion it out for me. We will get the big jar of almonds, we'll get our little snack bags, and it's a quarter cup goes in the snack bag. And that way there's that one snack bag. You're going to take that and there you go. Then once that snack bag is done, you're done with your almonds. It's easy. If you've got the big thing of almonds next to you to eat more than you should, because it's sort of mindless eating. But if you're mindful, okay, here's my portion, I'm having that. You're still a little hungry after that, have some vegetables, have some fruit, something that's going to fill you up, but be good for you. Your body will fill up quicker on good for you food than it will on junk food. You could eat junk food, you could eat a whole bag of chips and never be full. You're going to fill up quicker if you eat the veggies and the almonds and the nuts and all that good stuff. So, and then water too, making sure you're drinking your water. That's one thing that a lot of us are deficient in on a normal day. So having, your bottle filled or, especially if you're home, fill up a nice big pitcher, put it in the fridge so it's cold, put some fresh fruit in it. And then by the end of the day, that should be gone. And again, you're home especially if you're home all day now, you can say, oh, look I still have half my thing of water and it's 4:00 in the afternoon. I better get on this. So just kind of helps to get us on track. And maybe we can use this time because it's all about building the habits, right? So using this time to, okay, I can be mindful about it now because I don't really have anything else going on, and be mindful about making my, getting my snack packs of healthy snacks. I've got my water going. And that way, when we're kind of getting back into the whatever our new normal is going to be, we've established these healthy habits, and we've actually done something good with this time.
Mindfulness is a good practice for anybody to incorporate into your life. Explain a little bit what mindful eating and just mindfulness, being in the moment, how important that is.
Oh, it's so important. Mindfulness is a huge thing in my life, especially when I'm feeling a little overwhelmed or a little stressed. Just being in the moment and observing or smelling or touching or tasting or whatever it is you're doing at that particular time is really just revel in it. Like go walk around your neighborhood. I walked around my neighborhood the other day. I think whatever that real windy day was, I didn't want to go to the park. I walked around the neighborhood and I just observed, and I was like, oh my gosh, I never noticed this house, or I never noticed this garden in the front of this house down the street from me, or, at dinner time, sitting and eat whatever it is you're eating, like just looking at it and smelling it and tasting it. It sounds so like, what? Kind of out there, but it really makes you sit back and take in and just be so, and it gives you a sense of gratitude as well. Like, look at this amazing plate of food I have in front of me. I'm going to fill my body with all this nutrition. It tastes so good. And it just makes you slow down. And when we slow down, we lower our heart rate. We get all those feel good hormones going. We slow our breath a little bit, and we take ourselves out of all the other stressors that are going on in our day. And you're just mindful in the moment. And again, it can be as small or as big as you want it to be. It can be as simple as, sitting and looking at I was looking at my son yesterday. We were doing something in the living room, and I was just looking at him like, look at how much he's changed in the past year, and without having to sit down and literally slow down. I probably would, if that was a regular Monday night, I probably wouldn't have been looking at him like, he's grown all these inches. He's gotten so much more mature. And it was mindful time with my son. And you can apply that to anything. You can apply that to, even if you're working from home, just sitting, in your space and like, okay, this is such a cozy little space. I'm on my nice comfy couch. I'm doing my work. I've got one of my pets next to me or whatever it is, but just bringing yourself right into that moment and taking it all in, and it does really quiet and calm you down.
I think that's a huge benefit everybody's going to have from this. We're all forced to having to slow down, and things are more intentional now, and you have time to put more thought into stuff, and enjoy the people that you're stuck in the house with for the next however long. I think that could end up being a little bit of a silver lining in all of this.
I agree. I totally agree with that. I think my husband, he keeps calling it the best pandemic ever. And what he means by that is, like, he drove by Dairy Queen the other day and there was this huge line for Dairy Queen, if spaced appropriately, they were behaving. But it's like, back whenever the last pandemic was, we did not have this. We did not have this technology. We didn't have, the ability to communicate and to really know live time what was going on with whatever was the pandemic of the time. But I feel like being able to slow down, turn the TV off, and, pick up a book or get out. We got some board games we haven't played in ages in our house. And just being able to slow down it's a gift. And again, you have to sort of take out what we can't control. We have to do this. They're telling us this is what we have to do in order to win this war against this virus. We have to stay home. So don't fight it. Don't try to win over that. Just say, okay, this is what I have to do. So I'm going to take control of this is the time I'm going to take control over my nutrition. I'm going to get some workouts in that maybe I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. I'm going to, take time with my family. I'm going to, read a book that I've been putting off, and sort of look and see what you can do. And you will feel a whole lot better, in taking charge of what you can take charge of.
Something that I really love about the BAC is, I used to work out at the old one that was at like Niagara Falls Boulevard. And I was always just so uncomfortable. I didn't like working out next to a guy who's like repping like 500 pounds and like pushing it up there, or, people that are just kind of walking around not doing much. There's such a nice community there, and it's so comfortable. And I think that that sense of community is just as important as going to the gym. It just feeds you in a different way. Your community is a little split up right now, but you guys are still together. How, other than the online classes and stuff, are you still in contact with your members? What's your message to them right now throughout all of this?
Yeah, I agree. Our message to them is we are here for you. We are here for you in whatever you need. So many of us have outside contact with so many of our members just via text message or, Facebook friends or whatever. And we're trying to reach out to them and just keep them feeling like, yeah, we're still here. We are here for you. What do you need? We started this maybe 6 months ago, we started a training camp program. So it's a small group and they're hour workouts and they're 8 weeks long. So when you sign up for those, you're committed for those 8 weeks with this group. So it's a little different than our Power 30, which is anybody could show up to anyone. This is a group. It's usually 10 to 15 people. And so they've gotten to be close, good friends. So I have 2 that I'm doing right now. Well, I was doing, and I've kept them as a group because I would text them in the morning before each training camp. I've kept them as a group and I'm sending them, they have a Tuesday night group and a Thursday night group. So this morning I sent them a workout and I said, okay, unless you aren't going to be home, you're going to do this workout tonight at 5:30 normal time. This is when we would meet, 5:30 on Tuesdays. Here's your workout for the day. And it gives them that sense of, oh my gosh, okay, I'm still doing my Tuesday thing with my other 11 people in class and we're doing this together. And then they're texting me, oh, I did it. It worked. I felt great. Here's what here's where I struggled or whatever. And then they're sending another text the next day to the group. I'm sore, whatever. So they're staying in touch with us, but they're also staying in touch with each other, which I think is also just as important. And I feel like the BAC has this amazing community of just women empowering each other. And I'm always amazed at, I'll see ladies in the club and I'll think, oh, they must have known each other from outside of here for years. You could just tell the dynamic of their friendship. And then I'll find out, nope, they've only known each other from the BAC and they've gotten to be such good friends. And I'm always like, oh my gosh, we cultivated this. Just being here, we've cultivated these amazing friendships. And we have ladies going through all kinds of things. One of our very regulars has just started chemo treatment a couple weeks ago. And I know that a group before all this started, a group had gone to visit her and see how she was doing. So you don't find that at every gym. To me, that's just as important as the classes and the equipment and the workouts that go on, is just that social interaction. And that's one thing we want to make sure is our ladies feel like they are not isolated. Because I know a lot of them are, a little older and maybe they live on their own and they are the ones that have to stay home. They cannot go, they should not be going anywhere. And we want to make sure that they know that we're here for them and they're still going to see our faces and we're all there rooting them on and cheering them on and knowing that we keep reminding them we will be back together soon enough. Just for now, this is how we have to do it.
I think that's such a good message for everybody. We're all connected in some way, shape, or form, whether you're a bodybuilder or you stay at home or you're elderly and you're shut in, we're all going through this together. And I think just that sense of kindness and having control over the things that we do have control over and keeping that in mind that eventually we're going to be out on the other side. What are you looking forward to when this is all done?
I'm looking forward to getting back to the BAC, back to the gym, back to my routine. I am a huge creature of habit, and I think this is good for me because it does get me out of that routine. But just, getting back and what I want to make sure is that when we do get back to normal is I don't want to forget all of what we've learned from this. Let's not take for granted that we have these abilities to be able to go and do what we want. And because I was just telling my husband and I were talking about how probably crazy it's going to be out there when they finally say, okay, everybody can go places. All the places are going to be crazy. But, it's like, okay, let's not forget how easy it is to have all of that taken away. And here's where you are. And be grateful that, we have, it is relatively nice. I mean, if this was the middle of at least a regular January or February, how much harder it would be. I think even just the weather itself has helped. At least you don't feel like you can't even leave your house to some degree, even to go for a walk, because it's it's relatively nice out.
Thank you very much for taking time out of
You're welcome. Thanks for
what you
having
have going on over there. Yeah, it's nice to see you see like Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Fallon, everybody's doing things from their home now, and it's really cool to get kind of a glimpse inside of everybody's life, you know.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, I know I was watching the Jimmy Fallon. It was cracking me up. Yeah, his daughter comes shooting down the slide.
Yeah, who has a slide in their house? That's crazy.
I know.
Don't. I have a slide. But thank you again. I look
You're
forward to getting
welcome.
back to the gym. Thank you for sharing some things that I can help everybody who's all in the same boat right now.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So if anybody else is interested in listening or watching any of our other podcasts, you can stream us from Spotify or wherever else you hear your podcast, or hop onto our website, shovelthesidewalk.com. If you have somebody who thinks that they have an interesting story, or you yourself have something you want to push out into our community, you think you can help all of us shut-ins right now, we have a form on the site that you can fill out. So thank you again, and this has been Sidewalk Talk.